Now, it's that time of year again when Parliament debates the finance bill and Kenyans brace what it could mean for their wallets. But unlike last year's proposal, which triggered nationwide protests, this time the strategy has shifted. No new tax shocks, at least that's the promise by the government. Instead, the government says it will tighten its belt, cut spending and try to win back public trust. But what does that actually mean for you and the country's future? Tonight, we unpack the Finance Bill 2025, what it is, what's changing, and why it matters. Let's unpack it. Let's talk about Kenya's 2025-2026 finance bill.
Mlifikiria ya 2024 ilikuwa rahisi, hii ndio moto. Yani nimesoma hiyo finance bill mpaka nasikia nafsi ni kama zime.
Prices of certain goods are set to go up if the proposed finance bill of 2025 were to be passed as is.
Isikuwe kama ile wakati ya June 2025 ambapo ilibidi vijana wa Gen Z wakuje kwa parliament.
Honorable members, I also wish to inform the House that I've received the draft Finance Bill 2025 from the Cabinet.
I smell a rat. There is another tax coming.
Yeah, already.
Ini kutufunika macho.
Actually, you're correct. There are other things. So ni kuuma ukipuliza.
We want to urge Kenyans from the floor of this House that the real finance bill is with us now. There should be no misinformation, disinformation, misrepresentation, and misinformation of the public, Mr. Speaker.
Kenya's cabinet recently approved a new finance bill.
This bill has been carefully crafted to stimulate economic growth, deliver efficiency, and enhance competitiveness.
Guides how the government raises and spends your money. Imagine your household earns less money this year. What's the first thing you do? You cut back. Fewer takeouts, cheaper data bundles, and maybe goodbye to that Netflix subscription. Well, that's exactly what the Kenyan government is doing, but at a national scale. The government says the math no longer adds up. Too much borrowing, ballooning debt, and mounting pressure from lenders to clean things up. So now, Kenya is trying to shrink its fiscal deficit, the gap between what it earns and what it spends, from 5.1% to 4.5% of GDP. It sounds technical, but picture this. If Kenya was a student with HELB debt, but now saying, let me stop partying every weekend and save my allowance to pay off this loan.
You actually have to understand that income has to be raised, revenues have to be raised before they are spent. How are they raised? They're raised by enterprises that actually create value and earn money. And when they've earned money, you can take part of that money and spend it for public goods and services. If you squeeze farms too far and if you squeeze labor too far, you're going to generate responses that actually reduce your ability and you're going to drive these things up.
And instead of piling on new taxes, the government is now trying Plan B to spend less.
Its provisions are designed to offer targeted relief for both businesses and workers.
One of the mechanisms then to ring-fence resource, ensure that the resource basket then is enriched without really pinching the citizens is to address the issue on VAT. So we've seen quite some reforms for commodities that were previously zero-rated, now being made VATable, meaning that they will be paying that 16% VAT.
But cutting spending isn't easy either. It risks slowing down government operations, from stalled development projects to possible delays in public services, salaries, and even social programs. So why the sudden shift? Because the last time the government tried raising taxes, it didn't go well at all. The 2024 Finance Bill tried to slap taxes on nearly everything: fuel, food, even sanitary pads. And Kenyans snapped.
Last year, We were trying to raise an additional 1.2% of GDP above our usual 16. And we generated a riot and almost stopped the country.
For weeks, the streets roared with protest. Young people, parents, workers, all united by one message.
Let's just take that signal for what it is, that we can't go too far on the spending side because there's a limit to how much taxes Kenyans can take. That's it.
And the pressure worked. President Ruto was forced to retreat, dropping tax proposals worth over 350 billion shillings.
Listening keenly to the people of Kenya who have said loudly that they want nothing to do with this Finance Bill 2024, I concede, and therefore I will not sign the 2024 Finance Bill.
Now, the government is trading carefully. Not dramatic new taxes, just promises to cut costs and restore trust. But this isn't just about local politics. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, Kenya's main financial backer, recently paused part of its support, citing missed targets. So now, Kenya is under pressure to prove it can live within its means. So here we are, a country at a crossroads. Cut spending and risk slowing down services that millions depend on, or raise taxes and risk igniting another uprising. Either way, someone pays. For everyday Kenyans already juggling high prices and low pay, the real question is, when will the numbers finally add up? Not just in the books, but in real life.